Welcome to the Barbells and Bourbon Podcast, the podcast that brings strength and comfort. I am your big, bald, bearded, barbell lifting, bourbon drinking son of a bitch, Shaun. And joining me today is Kylie Wright. Welcome to our home, Kylie.
Thank you.
You nervous?
Yeah.
I like to call that out. Sometimes it helps relax you
Yeah.
if you admit that you're nervous. This is going to be fine. It's going to be
Okay.
fun. We've known each other for a 20-minute conversation.
Yeah.
You're essentially a total stranger.
Yeah.
You brought a sidekick with you.
I did.
Mason is sitting in the background watching all of this behind the scenes. He doesn't want to be on camera, and that's fine, but maybe one day he will be on camera. But Kylie, you're a natural competitive bodybuilder.
Yes.
You're one of my youngest guests ever. You just turned 22.
Mm-hmm.
What has bodybuilding done for you beyond the physical that people can't see?
My whole relationship with food completely changed. Because from a very young age, I had a really bad relationship with food. When I was 15, that's when I struggled with bulimia. So I would binge. I would starve myself and then binge and then make myself throw up so I wasn't taking anything in. And after that, it kind of was just a whole spiral of a whole bad relationship with food. Then it's like I can't touch something if it's not healthy, this, that, the other. Even when I started prep for my first show, my relationship with food wasn't there. So it wasn't until after my first show that I finally was like, okay, unhealthy food's okay. These things are just numbers. Everything's fine. So that's like the biggest thing that it helped with. It's just my whole relationship with food completely changed. Like now I'm eating whole pizzas and I'm like, it's okay. It's carbs and fat. And I have a lot of fun with it now.
It's all about balance, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So when did this eating disorder start? How young were you?
15.
15.
I was like just turning 15, freshly 15.
Did anyone know that you were struggling with this, or did you hide it?
I hid it, and actually during school, like at lunch, I would just go in the bathroom most times and, do what I got to do. But that's if I was eating. Like if I didn't eat for school lunch, nobody's going to know. But if I did eat, I'd trail off into the bathroom and do what I had to do.
Do your business.
Yeah, and then my mom, I think, started to get suspicious of it because, like, I obviously started losing weight really fast, and I'm 4'11", so me super skinny, like it looks like I'm dying. So she would like bring up food to my bedroom and just kind of leave it by my door and stuff like that because I think she was catching on to it because she already knew I didn't want to eat stuff that was unhealthy. So she would try to support me and like buy me healthy stuff. But then I think when she realized I wasn't really eating that, she's like, something might be going on. But I don't think she knew the extent of it at all. I think she just thought I was kind of starving myself or being super hard on myself.
Yeah. So you're not the first guest I've had that struggled with an eating disorder. And the root cause of those eating disorders is different for everybody. Some are trying to obtain a certain look because they're being pressured by their peers in school or things they see on TV or the internet or whatever it may be. What was kind of like your root cause of your eating disorder?
If I'm being honest, it's really embarrassing, but I wasn't popular in high school, and I looked at all the popular girls, and they're skinny, and they're getting all this, like, attention because people think they're pretty and skinny, and I was like, well, I want to be pretty and skinny, so, let me do what I can do to get there pretty much, because it felt like even if I was eating healthy and working out really hard, it just felt like I could never get, like, that level, so I kind of just took things too far, yeah.
What was the lightest you remember being weight-wise?
I think it was 90-something pounds. I don't remember the exact, but I think it was 90-something. I remember weighing myself after, like, I started to try to get out of it, and I was, like, 97, but it was in the, like, low 90s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's start from the beginning, Kylie. I mean, obviously you struggled with fitting in, maybe struggled with your image a little bit, but I want to see what childhood was like. I'm going to flash back in time and get to know you from that very young age.
Okay.
Because that sort of forms who you are today, right?
Yeah.
All of our experiences make us who we are. So where did you grow up?
I actually grew up in Springfield, Ohio, so it's like a little farm town, and I did grow up kind of on a farm. We call it a farm, but like we call it the funny farm because it's kind of just a big plot of land. We built a barn and had all these animals, but we didn't kill anything. We didn't eat any of them. Like we had the chickens for eggs. We'd use the animals like poop, as like manure, grow vegetables, stuff like that. But like not a hardcore killing farm.
So you had really big pets.
Yes, yeah,
Right?
just a lot of pets, a lot of lamb, a lot of pets, a lot of fresh fruits and veggies and eggs.
Any siblings?
Yeah, I have an older brother.
How was your relationship with your brother?
Oh, geez. So growing up, we always kind of like butted heads like siblings will do, just, messing around. He messed around with me too much and I'd annoy him, just sibling stuff. But as we got older, we don't really talk anymore. Just some things happened and we haven't spoken in like 4 years now. So, yeah.
Do you miss him?
I do.
Yeah. Do you think you're ever going to speak again?
That's going to make me cry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not sure, actually. He's supposed to be getting married here soon. And my mom's really trying to get me to be involved in the wedding, like on his, she's telling him to get me involved because I'm 100% for being involved, but, she has to convince him of it, so we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure it's coming up here in May, so hopefully it's like the mending of everything. He's just very stubborn, so yeah.
So did he kind of start the lack of contact?
He did. He started it, and then I tried to kind of like, mend things, tried to spark up conversations with him, and it just never really worked, so I kind of gave up on it, but...
You think he's going to watch this?
No.
What if he does? What do you have to say to him?
Oh my gosh. That's so hard. I would try just tell him, please text me or call me.
Your sister
Pretty
misses
simple.
you. What's your brother's name?
Pretty simple. Charles.
Charles.
Yeah.
Your sister misses you. Reach out. She loves you. It's still your sister. Whatever you've been through, I'm sure you can get over it.
Hopefully.
Yeah. It's funny. It's not funny. Haha. But it's interesting that normal to me means you're always in contact with your family forever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And having this show has taught me that that is not normal at all.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of people that disconnect from family members for whatever reason.
Right.
And there's no right or wrong. Everyone has a reason for it, whether it's a toxic relationship or you're not seeing eye to eye and they're dragging you down in life. Like,
Right.
they're your family, but they're still human beings.
Right.
So sometimes you need to separate, but
Yeah.
that wasn't your doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you can mend that.
Yeah.
What about your parents? Good relationship with them?
Yes. It was a little like rocky for a little bit. I feel like you always fight with your mom when you're a teenager. Like teenage girls always fight with their moms. Things were like, a little rocky. Me and my dad have always it's like I've always been like my daddy's girl. Like that's how it's always been. And then, as I was a teenager, me and my mom would fight a little more, so things kind of, I don't know, there's a lot of tension in the house, but after I moved out when I was 20, like, we all got super close, like, so much closer. Now my mom wants to, like, hang out with me and stuff, and it's so fun, and I'll go over and see them, so, yeah, our relationship's really good now.
So they go from being parents to friends in a way.
Yeah,
The older you
yeah,
get.
and then I get to talk about actual things with her where I'm like, I'm talking about this with my mom?
Yeah, like relationship advice.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shall buy this,
I'm like,
shall buy
wait,
that. Yeah,
I can't say this to my mom.
Right.
Like, she was telling me something about, I don't know, like her and her friends, like drinking, doing whatever, and she's telling me about like an edible, and I'm like, it's like, you're saying this to me? I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I tell her like that I tried weed before. I'm like, oh, I just said that to my mom.
You're a grown ass woman now.
Yeah,
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, it just feels weird. I'm like, oh, but yeah, it's like we're friends now.
Yeah. That's refreshing. I'm the same way with my parents. You go from that age where you're trying to not disappoint them and doing
Yeah.
what they're telling you to do and follow the rules, and then all of a sudden you're like BFFs.
Yeah.
And that's a totally different
I
relationship.
like it. It's so refreshing. Like it made me so happy as we got closer.
Yeah. What was school like for you? You did allude in the beginning that you didn't feel like you fit in. But
Yeah.
how was school otherwise?
I went to a really, really small school. So it was like a graduating class, I think like 60, maybe 70 people. Like a really,
Really
really
small.
small school. So there was like very particular cliques. And I didn't feel like I was in any of those cliques. There was like the popular kids, and then there was the weird kids, and then there was not to sound rude, but that's just how it was. And then there was like the in the middle kids. And I felt like for a while I was probably just one of the weird kids because I didn't really talk. Like, so in school, I was kind of just the teacher's pet. I got good grades. I didn't talk. I did my own thing. And then I feel like I kind of upgraded to the in the middle group because then, people start talking to me and whatever. And then it wasn't until high school, like end of junior year, beginning of senior year, that's when like the popular kids were like, oh, Kylie Wright, what's up? And I'm like, oh, hey. And I kind of became friends with them, but I just didn't like the way they lived. Like, their lifestyles just didn't mesh with mine. So it kind of just was like, okay, I don't think I'm ever going to fit in with anybody at this school. I don't think this is a me thing. Like, I think it's just, there's such a small group of people. It's just, I'm not going to fit in. Like, they all have their particular cliques. I don't match with any of them.
Yeah.
So it was good. Like, school was good. I got good grades, and I do have my core friends that, I met in school. Like, my best friend, we've been best friends for like 10 years, and I met her in middle school. So,
Still in touch
it was
with her?
still, yes, yeah. It was still really good for me. I just didn't really feel like I had that big group of friends that you see like on TV and everything, so it made me feel like kind of an outcast. But even going into my adult life, it's like, it's just the way it's just the way I am, my interests. Like, I do have my people, it's just you got to find them elsewhere. Like, somewhere like the Arnold, you go there and it's like, these are all my people. They all get it. It's all the same kind of stuff.
We all like the same things.
Yeah, so when I do like a bodybuilding show, I'm like, they get it. These are my people.
So what were your interests as a kid?
Oh my gosh, I was a country girl, and at the time, even though I went to a country school that had tractor day, that wasn't cool. We had tractor day. You ride your tractor to school, but like it like wasn't cool to be like country though. They're like, "Oh, ew." So my interest was like I liked to do the horseback riding, and I was in 4-H, and I liked to fish and ride four-wheelers and do all that stuff, and like that made me kind of weird, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But then, in high school, they're all getting their fake cowgirl boots, and they want, yeah, you know how that goes. But
I don't, but I can imagine.
The fake, country thing, and they're going to country concerts. I'm like, oh, but I was weird when these were my interests.
So you're growing up in the country, but you're looked down on if you're acting too country.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was such a
sense.
small judgmental school. Like, It was
Wow.
really weird. Yeah, I used to hide. So we had like computers that we do our work on, and we'd all listen to Spotify. And I used to hide my Spotify because I'd listen to country music, and I knew that people would make fun of me because there was this one girl, and I'll never forget. She literally saw my Spotify and like called me out to the class that I was listening to country music, and I was so embarrassed. So then I would start hiding my Spotify. I'm like, gosh, I can't be country in this country school.
Oh my gosh.
It was silly. Yeah.
It's silly, but I mean, that's what framed you for feeling like you don't fit in.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it makes complete sense now.
Kids are mean. Yeah.
Kids are very mean.
Yeah.
And it seems like that hasn't changed.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I am in a completely different generation than you. I'm 47. I was bullied in high school. It was very cliquey. You
Yeah.
had the jocks, you had the, I don't want to say like the burnouts, but you had like the skater kids.
Yeah, I know what you
Then
mean.
you had the white kids who were pretending to be black. Then you had the cheerleaders. Like,
Yeah.
you had all these different groups, and I was in none of them.
Yeah.
I looked like a complete nerd. So yeah, I was just kind of like you. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't really fit in anywhere. I went above and beyond to get girls to like me. I would
Yeah.
brush their hair in class and like the most ridiculous shit just to be, admired or
Right.
accepted, but
Right.
didn't work. So anyways, high school was a little bit better for you though.
Yeah, it was a little better. That's when I kind of started like figuring myself out. I think like more of my interest in who I wanted to be, like going into my adult life and everything. And that's when, I started working. So then I'm meeting people that are outside of this tiny little cliquey school and, kind of realizing, oh, there is more people like me and, maybe I do fit in a little bit. And then obviously end of junior year when everybody started to like notice I was a person, it was like, oh, okay, like, I guess this is cool, but, I'm happy that I graduated with everybody, like, loosely kind of as a friend. That was nice, like, to know kind of my whole class and them all to, like, talk to me and everything. But even though I don't fit in with them, I'm just glad that, like, I wasn't stuck up like them, too. Like, I was still talking to the like, weird kids and whatever. So, yeah, it was good. It wasn't bad.
So did you feel like any resentment that you were kind of all of a sudden accepted, even though you didn't change Like all this time, you're still the same Kylie. You weren't cool, and now you're like cool.
It just like was a little irritating because it was just based on looks, because it was like then people liked the way I looked, and then all the football players were fighting over who got to take me to homecoming and stuff, and I'm like, you guys literally used to make fun of me, like, it what? And I chose the fat funny one. I chose the fat funny guy to go with because I was like, all right, well, I'm not playing into this, and I want to have a good time, so whatever. And yeah, but it annoyed me a little bit because it was like, this is all just based on looks. Like, I'm the same person. You guys like the way I look, like, and same with the girls too. It's like they think I'm pretty, so then that means I can fit into their group because now we're all pretty instead of, So yeah, it did irritate me a little bit.
How much did your looks change?
A lot.
Did they really?
Yes.
So this isn't just like...
No, it definitely changed a lot.
Do you have pictures from back in the day?
Yeah.
I'm going to overlay them right here for your viewing pleasure.
Oh, please don't. I had braces for a long time too. I had braces for 4.5 years. That's if that says anything, yeah. Did you have to wear headgear? I would have if they didn't come out with this new thing. So like, yeah, my orthodontist was like, hey, we just came out with this new thing. It goes at the roof of your mouth and it acts as headgear, so you don't have to have headgear. So if that wasn't invented, I would have had headgear. I had headgear. Yeah. I mean, I didn't wear it during the day out in public, but I had to wear it at night. Talk about embarrassing, man. Yeah. I mean, the thing that was at the roof of my mouth, though, it left a permanent scar on my tongue because your tongue rests at the roof of your mouth. Yeah. So then when I first got it, obviously, it gave me a lisp because it's digging into my tongue. And then I had a lisp, but I'm like, guys, I just can't win. So you're ugly. Yeah. I mean, I had acne. I had the lisp. The trifecta. Yeah, I had acne. I had a lisp. I had the braces. And, like, obviously your teeth don't just magically get straight when you get braces put on. So, like 2.5, 3 years of that is like crooked teeth braces. It's just not good. No. Not good. Girl, I feel you. I had all the same, I don't know what's called problems, but I had the worst acne. I tried everything under the sun to get rid of it. Prescriptions and $300 stuff from Macy's, and you just have to grow out of it, I think. Yeah, that's what happened to me. One of my friends actually reached out, and it was, I was like, geez, thanks. So he was like a friend from high school, and he's like, so how'd you get rid of your really bad acne? And I was like, geez, thanks, dude. I was like, I don't know, I just grew out of it. Like, that's all that happened. But yeah, it was funny. I'm like, well, at least, at least he was being honest. It was really bad. You've heard of the horror stories with Accutane, right? Yeah, I was going to go on it, and I went to the doctor, but you have to be on birth control, and I never really was interested in going on birth control because all the things that it affects, so. You have to be on birth control to go on Accutane? And it was crazy because I was like, but I'm not sexually active, I'm not going to get pregnant, so what's it matter? But it doesn't matter. Like, if you're a woman, you need to be on birth control to go on Accutane because, like, they're not going to take your word that you're not sexually active because I guess Accutane babies, it's just really bad. Yeah. I had a guest, it was like one of my first half dozen guests, Chris. He was on Accutane and he tried to commit suicide while he was on it. Really? It messed his head up so much. I didn't know it even had those kinds of effects. Oh, yeah. Depressive, psychological, schizophrenic. Like, it really fucks with your head bad. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, there was a story I just saw in like 48 hours or something. This kid shot his two best friends in the head, and he didn't know why he did it, but he was on Accutane. So his defense was trying to prove that Accutane made him do it. Wow. Crazy. So that's if you're terrifying. Watching this, don't you have acne, don't use Accutane unless you want to do harmful things to yourself or others. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Not that it does that to everybody, but yeah, still, that's crazy. Yeah. That's why I didn't want to ever go on birth control because it affects you so much, and especially once I got into bodybuilding, I'm like, I'm not gonna raise my estrogen. Like, I don't, I don't want to mess ruin your look. Yeah, I'm like, it's gonna ruin it, make it a little bit harder for me. I don't want to do that, but yeah. So, any relationships in high school or before high school? Yeah, I had a boyfriend throughout high school. It was fine, but we just like grew apart. We started dating when we were super young, so you're not the same people at the end of it. So yeah. What'd you do out of high school when you graduated? What was your next step? Oh my gosh, I went to college for 2 months. Wow. Good for you. Went to college for 2 months, And I couldn't afford it because I couldn't get approved for financial aid, and then my parents weren't paying for it, so it was kind of all on me. So I was working 2 jobs, and I was trying, but I'm like, I can't afford this. I honestly would have liked to stay in, but like, I'm glad, and I think everything worked out really well that I didn't end up staying in because I kind of like had the fast track to what I wanted to do anyways. Because I was going for exercise science, which is a pointless degree. Like it's honestly pointless because all I wanted to do was be a trainer, and it's like I don't need a degree to do that. I can just go through. I went the National Academy of Sports Medicine. I just went through them, got that in like a few months, and it was good. So I'm happy it worked out that way. But yeah tried college out, but
Well,
too expensive.
appreciate your effort. Yeah. What college did you try to go to?
YSU.
Okay. Youngstown State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not from Ohio, so.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
it's
sorry. It's
fine.
Youngstown
but
State.
I guessed correctly, so we're good.
Yes.
Did you know when you graduated what you wanted to do when you grew up?
Yes, actually, we wrote a freshman letter to our like senior
Future self,
selves.
yeah.
And in the freshman letter, it was literally saying exactly what I wanted to do, and it matched up perfectly. So whenever I got my like personal training certification, I posted a picture of the letter, like circling that part that was saying like what I wanted to do and like how I stuck with it. So yeah.
Why do you think that's what you wanted to do at such a young age? Like, how did you know that that was ingrained in you as a freshman in high school?
Because that's when I was, I was going through all that stuff with food and all of that and body image, but I was learning and I knew that things weren't okay. Like I wasn't stupid. I'm like, this isn't how I should be, but I still wanted to help people. I'm like, I want to help people get fit. I want to help people like, try to like understand things, fall in love with themselves, do things like that. Cause I knew one day like I'd be there. So I'm like, okay, like I'm going to be there. And then I can be the perfect person to instill all this on so that I can talk to them about how I felt in this moment. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like 15-year-old me who's making herself throw up. I'm like, I'm not always going to be this. So when I grow up, I'm going to help people not be this, what I am right now, essentially.
That's a very future forward thinking attitude to have at 15.
Yeah.
Huh. So you knew it was a temporary thing you were struggling with.
I knew like this is bad and I need to fix this.
Yeah. How about that? Most people, when they graduate high school, have no freaking clue what they want to do, and you knew when you were a freshman.
Yeah.
That's not normal, I wouldn't say. And you're happy with your choice?
Yeah, I'm happy with my choice. I mean, it's not something that can be like a crazy career unless you're like Hanny Rambod. You can't really, have a crazy career with it, but it's something that I do enjoy doing for money at least, and I get to help people, and it's fun because I obviously have a actual job outside of that, but it's still like I'm still super passionate about it, and even though it's not something where I could necessarily be a millionaire off of, I love it. So
Yeah. If you weren't a personal trainer, what do you see yourself doing?
just my other job, I just work for a life insurance company, so
That's
just probably
that's
that.
your full-time thing.
Yeah, so just
But
probably that.
That's not your passion though, right?
No.
Pays the bills.
No, that's just what pays the bills. So
What's your biggest success story with training so far?
so I had a girl, and she actually went to the same high school as me, and I think she had just graduated when she became a client. And one of the first questions that I ask them whenever I'm trying to write their numbers or give them a meal plan, I'm like, okay, how's your relationship with food been? And she had opened up to me about, her struggles. I've been eating disorder and all these things. So I worked with her for a little bit, and then I ended up, I can't say I dropped her as a client, but I just stopped taking money from her. I was like, all right, like, you're not there. Like, I can't, I can't in my right mind, like, take money from you when I know that you're not there, because she had a very bad relationship with food. So what I ended up doing, like I said, I stopped taking payment, and then I was just kind of her mentor. And then I helped her work her way out of that. And then now she's actually like a Pilates instructor, which is really cool. So that's like, even though it wasn't, I guess, like a client through and through, it's still a big success story for me. It's like, I just know I helped somebody, and now she's doing something positive with it. So, yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that know they want help,
Yeah.
know they need help, but like you said, it might not be the right time.
Right.
I have a training business also. I've worked with 300, 400 people, and everyone comes to me with a different story and a different reason why they want to change. And yeah, some people, they want to look different, but they maybe can't put the work in right now, or
Yeah.
mentally they're not really prepared to make all those sacrificial changes to their diet or
Right. She was just too hard on herself, where I'm like telling her, that it's okay to eat, this, that, and the other. It's okay to eat this much. And she was super hard on herself. And it broke my heart because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I know how that feels. And I wish she would just, listen. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take payment from you anymore. And like, I'm just going to guide you through this and help you out, like see the light at the end at the end of the tunnel. And that's kind of what we did. So
you're like a lifestyle coach.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you focus on women with eating disorders, or you just have like an open clientele
I don't,
list?
if somebody comes to me with that, that's great, and I'm glad I can help them. My clients are all women except for one. I won't really take men as clients unless, I know them or I know that they don't like women.
Okay. I mean, I don't really blame you in this day and age.
So, so I don't really, search for people with eating disorders in any sense, but, when they come to me, I'm glad I can help them with that. But a good, I'd say 85% of the women have come to me have at least had one and not realized it, Like I just had a girl start, she was only eating 1,400 calories a day. And, like, she had been doing that for such a long time. And, like, she was in such, like, a mental funk where, like, I can't eat any more than that or I'll get fat, all this, that. And I immediately increased her stuff. And she's like, I lost weight. I look good. I'm like, your body's working the way it's supposed to. So, yeah.
Girl, shout it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't say every, I'd say 80% of the clients that come to me are under eating.
Yeah.
Thinking that that's the key to losing weight.
Right.
And then you feed them another meal or two and they start losing that weight.
Right.
Their mind is blown.
Yeah.
It just doesn't logically make sense, but
Right.
scientifically it makes sense.
That's like, so the office that I work at, the people know that I'm cutting and they'll see me eat like 5 times a day and they're like, what? And I'm like, listen, it's strategy. You don't understand.
Yeah, just stay in your lane.
Yeah,
pal.
I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, it's strategy.
Did you ever think about advertising working with those struggling with eating disorders?
No, but I did do this one thing where I came out with a new service kind of, and it's like nutrition consultations. So it's pretty much just like a phone call and we'll go over everything and talk about that. So I guess if somebody was struggling with one, they would probably like to, hop on that call and maybe talk about it. But I never thought about advertising that now. It's a good idea.
I mean, it's such a niche thing,
Yeah.
but it's probably a pretty broad struggle.
Yeah.
By a
That
lot
is
of
a really good
women.
idea.
And just knowing that they have someone specifically they can turn to that's been through the trenches like you.
Right.
You're not just someone who feels like they can help them. Like you've actually lived that life.
Right. That's what I want to help people, like, fast track that. So, like, it took me however many years to get out of it. I'm like, I want people to have that fast track. Because, like, I want to be who I would have wanted to listen to at that age. Like, I want to be who I needed at that age, pretty much.
So what was it that you needed to break that cycle?
Honestly, I don't know how to. I guess I just needed to see it for myself that like things were okay. Like it was kind of like going through it is what I needed. Like I don't know. I guess if I had somebody like me to show me, them eating all this kind of stuff or, breaking things down to me and explaining food to me, that probably would have been what I needed. But I definitely needed to experience it because I saw it firsthand. Like I saw it happening to my body and I think I needed that. But I'm kind of like stubborn. Like if somebody tells me like, oh, like don't do this, I'm always going to want to see for myself. And it's not like intentionally stubborn. It's just, I'm like, no, I see the good. And I'm like, no, it'll be fine. I'll see for myself. So yeah.
Did you look at pictures of yourself back then and see sickness, see that you had an issue? Like, did you look unhealthy to yourself or did you still look fat?
Okay, so at the time, I thought I looked so fat. I thought I looked so fat.
And you were 90-some pounds.
Yeah, when I was taking pictures, I thought I looked so fat. And, like, I deleted so many pictures because I'm like, wow, I look so fat. But I do have, a handful. And looking back now, I'm like, what was wrong with me? Like, it's insane how small I was. Like, it's actually crazy, especially at, like, my height. Like, I looked like a tiny little stick. It was wild.
That's so scary that you don't see that.
That is what's scary. And that's like when you see those, pictures online of somebody skinny looking in the mirror, and in the mirror it shows like a really fat person. That's honestly so true. That's exactly how it is.
Body dysmorphia.
It's really bad, yeah.
It's bad the other way around too.
Yeah.
Like someone can look incredible.
Right, like a jacked
not big
person
enough.
and they think they're super small. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get like that sometimes because I'm supposed to
Yeah.
have big legs for my division. So sometimes I'll look in the mirror, I'm like, my legs are so small. But
They're not
I know.
small.
Yeah, but I just
They're not
know
small.
it's the
Yeah.
body dysmorphia. So I'm like, it's fine.
I think a lot of that is kind of striving for perfection too. Not
Yeah.
that that's a real thing; it doesn't exist. But
Yeah.
you always want to be the best of what you can be, and I think that's a little bit of
When you're there, you don't realize you're there because you're always pushing to be better, pretty much. Yeah.
yeah. So you went to school for 2 months.
That sounds terrible.
It kind of does sound terrible.
For 2 months. Yeah. I learned a lot.
Yeah. She didn't fail out. She just
Yeah.
couldn't afford it. And,
Yeah.
That's a struggle of a university. Right?
Yeah. I used my tax return to pay off the debt I had, like, to the school.
For 2 months of school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man.
It was crazy.
So your life insurance, would you sell it?
No, so I work for the agents that do sell it pretty much. So, like, I set their appointments for them to sell more to people. So it's people who already have, like, policies that I, like, work with.
Okay. And you fit in all the bodybuilding in between.
Yes.
How many days a week are you training?
Only 5. Well, technically 6 because I have 6 days of cardio,
Cardio.
but I used to do 6 days a week, like, lifting for forever. And it wasn't until this last year I dropped down to 5, and I love it so much more. So, yeah.
And you
So
got
5
into,
days lifting, 6
and you got
cardio.
into bodybuilding because the image thing?
No. I got into bodybuilding because I was already kind of living the lifestyle, and everybody would ask me if I compete. So I was like, oh, I guess I could. Maybe I should, because everybody thought I did. At the old gym I used to go to, they would ask about it, and they're like, you don't? Like, why not? Or people would come up and be like, oh, when do you have a show? I'm like, I don't. Like, what are we talking about? So I just thought I should make the jump.
Is it because of the structure you had, the discipline you had, the way you looked, all the above? Why
Yeah,
do
I
people
mean,
think that?
Well, I used to, for 2 years, I'd wake up at 4 in the morning, go to the gym at 5, like, be done by, like, 7:30, do all the stuff I had to do, and, like, I don't know, it was just a very strict routine that, like, nothing could break it. Like, even, I don't know, even if there was, like, something super important that came up, I found a way to work the gym into it. So I'm like, this discipline, that's probably why people are thinking that, too. They're seeing me here all the time. They're like, she must be doing this for a reason, and I really wasn't.
And
Just because I liked it.
You didn't play sports in school or anything, did you?
No, I tried to do track, and then COVID happened, and then it just, like, went, whatever. We didn't have any meets or anything. I was doing distance. I was doing, like, the 2 mile, and, like, I trained for it, and I was doing it, and then we never got to actually do meets or anything because COVID, so, yeah.
So you didn't even have an athletic background, and
No.
you're jumping into bodybuilding routine,
Yeah.
kind of like cold turkey.
Yeah.
Why? Like, what drove
like
that
what-
discipline?
Oh,
Like,
so whenever I knew I had a problem, like the eating thing, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to gain weight, try to gain muscle, get myself healthy. So that's how I fell into that portion of it. Because before then, I was just doing, like, CrossFit stuff. Like, I was, like, super intense CrossFit workouts. So then after, I'm like, okay, let me try to gain weight, At the time, I didn't really know a lot about food, so I'm like, let's just protein max. Let's eat a lot of protein and lift a lot of weight. And it kind of just went from there, I guess.
so you were just trying to become healthier.
Yeah. And then that was what led into, I'm like, wow, I love this. I love, the lifting and training hard, gaining strength, like gaining muscle. This is awesome. And then, kind of all just fell into place.
What'd you think of CrossFit?
Oh,
CrossFit sucks.
so bad. Like, I can't believe
Mason's like, yep, it sucks.
I can't believe I ever did it. Like, I don't know how I did it. It was wild. But, yeah, like, the workouts were so dumb. I mean, it was intense. It burned calories and it made me die, but I mean, it's kind of silly now looking back at
We're
it.
gonna have CrossFitters in the comments.
CrossFit's
Hating-
awesome if you can do it, but I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
can
is.
never now.
I tried it a few times. My girlfriend used to do it, and it's a hard workout.
It's intense.
Yeah.
It's intense. And you only need like a 30, 45-minute workout to be dying from it. It's pretty hard. be doing like
So-
100 burpees. I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't do that now.
And 100 pull-ups
Yeah.
and 1,000 push-ups. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, Audie, you know Audie.
Yeah, she's the one who helped me with everything for my first show.
That's awesome. Yeah, she was on last year. She was a avid CrossFitter.
Yeah.
She might not want to admit it,
Yeah.
but she still has those CrossFit roots buried deep down. Helped
Yeah.
her squat and deadlift and all the things. But,
Yeah.
So your first competition, when was that?
October 5th of 2024.
And it was a natural competition.
Yes.
Natural bodybuilder. Do you know?
I think I might have met you there. If you were Audie's coach once,
Yeah.
right? Okay, I think I did for like a split second. I think we got introduced, if I'm remembering correctly. 'Cause
Was
I
it the
know that-
Pittsburgh show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I think so, but yeah.
Okay, I remember now.
Yes.
Yep. Oh my gosh. What a dick. I don't remember.
No, you're okay. I just thought about it too. I'm like, wait.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I actually do. Yeah. I remember. I remember she pointed you out, and she's like, she's got amazing glutes and legs.
That's what everyone says. That's why I do wellness.
That's why that class exists.
Yes.
For people like you.
Yes.
Have you ever considered another class, or you're just kind of stuck with that?
I thought about crossing over to figure because I love my back and I will always train back hard. I don't care. I love having like a muscular, big, like V-tapered back. It's my favorite thing. But I don't really think I'm gonna cross over because I kind of just like sticking to one thing and training for it. And then also there's so much money. You gotta pay for all the different, divisions you're doing. So I'm like, I'll probably just stick with this. But figure did cross my mind just for fun. But if I did it, I would also be doing wellness in the same show. Like I wouldn't just do figure. And then also I'd have to learn all the posing for that, which is a whole different ballpark
yeah.
than wellness. Yeah.
Yeah. Posing is a whole other thing.
Oh yeah.
You can have the best physique on that day, but if you can't show it off the right way.
I tell everybody that it's so important because you can look better than everybody there, but if your posing's not there, you can lose. And it's like degrading, if that were to happen.
Who's your posing coach, Kylie?
Yeah, Paige Sabrata. Yeah.
Paige, yes.
Yeah.
Paige has my most watched episode.
Oh,
ever.
really?
It's almost 100,000 views.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. And I think it's because, actually, I know it's because she admitted to taking PEDs on
yeah.
that episode. She spoke very openly about it.
Yeah.
And she is open about it.
Yeah,
That's
she's
what
open.
came with the territory and her,
Right.
level of bodybuilding that she was in. I have BB Pro.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love
Yeah,
Paige.
she's the best. But yeah, you, Audie, my client Julia,
Yeah.
I think Patty, Patrice. You ever meet Patrice?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I met a lot of girls through Paige, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'd have to see her, but
Yeah, Paige is the best, and I recommend Paige to all of my competitive clients. So,
I do too. Whenever I meet somebody who's getting into competing, I'm like, I got a great posing coach. Like, she's awesome. She's the best. But yeah.
Now, do you have a prep coach?
I do. So okay. Long little story. So somebody was coaching me, then I dropped them as a coach. I'm like, this guy isn't a good person. He also doesn't know what he's talking about, so might as well drop him and whatever. But I have a friend who I actually met on TikTok, which is so funny. I literally met him on TikTok. Turns out, it's so crazy. Met him on TikTok. We're doing the same show. I'm like, nuh-uh. And then he's now basically dating one of my clients. And I'm like, the world is so small. But anyways, whenever I dropped my coach, I was like, hey, who's your coach? You think he would coach me? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So he just gave me a meal plan. He gives me my cardio numbers, and then we check in once a week, and that's that. So yeah, super simple because I don't need anything crazy. And I just gave him one chunk of money for it. It's no monthly payments, just kind of here's the money for prep, and we're
prep
good.
season is this much. And that's
Yeah,
that,
yeah. His name's Eric Wood. I don't know if you know who he is, but yeah.
Are you on a meal plan or macros?
Meal plan. He gave me the macro option, but I want to do a meal plan because I can turn off my brain, and then it makes groceries easier, just everything. Especially when prep brain hits, I'm like, I don't want to think about what I want to eat, and then buying stuff that I'm not going to end up using all of. It's so much easier. I like it.
Yeah, prep is tricky when it comes to either meal plan or macros, and everyone has something that works better for them.
Yeah.
Meal plan, you don't need to think.
Yeah,
You just
so
gotta
nice.
weigh it, cook it, and eat it.
Yes, yeah, it's
Right?
so nice.
Literally. Macros, you got to put a little more work in tracking everything.
Yeah,
You know, you could be down to your last meal of the day and you have to fit in all of these things
Yeah.
because you're either too low or you might be too high on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely moments in this prep where I'm like, man, I wish I just did macros because I'm craving this and I can make I can make it, I can eat this. But in the long run, I think I'm always going to go with a meal plan now because I can just turn off my brain and it's so simple. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much better.
Yep. I'm going to talk about Audie for a second in a good way.
Yay.
So Audie was my client for quite a while. She told me on this episode or on her episode that I kind of rekindled her passion for bodybuilding when
Aw.
we met. I coached her for about 2 years. She was on a meal plan
Yeah.
the whole time.
Macro Mondays now she has.
Yeah. So that actually kind of gets me into why I'm telling the story.
Yes.
So she did well under me as a coach. She has 3 kids, all very close in age. She has a very stressful life. Now she has her Swole Suits business, which
So amazing.
it's very amazing.
Yes. I need to reach out to her to make my suit now because I want a different color for every show.
As you should. And the meal plan just wasn't working for her after a while. She felt restricted. It was kind of stressing her out that she didn't get to have a little bit of flexibility and eat certain different things. She likes to be creative with what she makes. And
She's very good at it.
she's very good at it. So she dropped me as a coach because she wanted to see if she could do better with a different coach.
Yeah.
And I had no problem with that. Yeah, sure, we were friends, and it was kind of hard to see her go from that
Yeah.
perspective. But I'm like, you're a competitor. You do what you need to do
Yeah.
from a competition standpoint. And she ended up switching to another coach. I'm not going to name his name, but she got on the macros.
He was my coach.
Oh, okay. I think Triforce
Yeah,
was
yeah.
his company name. But the macros did great for her.
Yeah.
You know, she seemed to enjoy it more. And I think
Yeah.
that made a big difference is when you're enjoying the process, not that you have to enjoy prep,
Yeah.
but you don't have to hate it either.
Right.
But I
Right.
think that enjoyment really helped her kind of advance a little bit more with bodybuilding. And
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. I definitely enjoy the meal plan that I'm on because it's pretty good food. Like every morning, only on the days I lift, I get like a cream of rice bowl. And I look forward to it every morning. I'm like, sometimes at night, I'm like, I can't wait to go to sleep so I can wake up and have my cream of rice. Like, it's so good. And all the food is really good food, so I do enjoy it. But I get what she's saying about the restriction thing because sometimes it's like, dude, like, I could literally be having this right now, but the only reason I'm not is because I'm on the meal plan approach. And I can use my brain to figure out what the macros are in my meal plan and just switch it, but I won't because I just want to, stick to
the
it.
plan.
I just want to stick to it.
Yeah.
But, like, I know it's short term, so it doesn't bother me. I'm like, it's just rinse and repeat. We're good. And I know I'm not messing anything up, so it's good.
Prep is not supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It serves a very deliberate purpose,
Yeah.
right? And it is temporary. You know, preps can last from 10 weeks to 30 weeks. It's all different.
Yeah.
But there's an end to it.
Yeah.
It's just, a temporary sacrifice to get your body to transform, to be stage ready.
Yeah.
Some people can't do it.
Yeah.
Some people can't go without their wine every night or their chocolate after every meal and their pizza and their girls' nights out, like all the things. You can't do those things anymore. Like on macros, you might be able to dabble a little bit, have
Yeah.
your piece of pizza. And
Yeah, like I would make myself pita pizzas when I was on prep the last time and just doing macros. So, it's pita bread, the brand's called like Rayo's, like the pizza sauce. It's like my favorite 'cause it's like super clean. Like, measure all the stuff out and make myself that if I was craving it. So it's like, that was cool, but I'd rather just be told, eat what I gotta eat.
Yeah. Shut the brain off.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. It's so nice. And groceries are cheaper too.
People think eating healthy is more expensive than eating out, which is
Oh,
completely
then
bullshit.
eating out, yeah, no. I was going to say then eating unhealthy, yes. But then eating out, no. Because you got to think, if you spend, like a Chipotle, it's like $8 or $9 for a bowl, and you get 4 ounces of chicken in that bowl. You can get a whole pack of chicken that's going to last you like a week and a half for the same price as that Chipotle bowl. So it's absolutely not cheaper.
I hate that excuse.
Yeah.
That eating healthy is so expensive.
Yeah.
Go through a drive-through. Go through Chick-fil-A. You're spending $12. for one meal.
Especially now, it's went up so much.
Yeah. You could eat 4 or 5 meals for $12 if you actually just buy the ingredients and make it your freaking self, right?
Yeah.
So stop using that excuse, everybody, because eating healthy is not more expensive. Let's put a pause on the meathead talk for a few minutes.
All right.
So your eating disorder started when you were 15.
Yes.
You said you struggled to fit in.
Yes.
Did you have any boyfriends or anything at the time?
Yes, I had a boyfriend through high school. It started at the same age.
How was that relationship?
It was fine. It was really good. Just like first serious relationship for both of us. So just two kids trying to, learn how to be in a relationship, I guess. But we just grew apart. That was it.
Yeah. What about future relationships?
I had one right after high school that was very brief. Like, me and my mom say we don't really even consider it a relationship. We kind of consider it a situation because it was a very abusive situation, and he got arrested. He actually just got arrested again in a straitjacket because he's a little cuckoo. And then after that, I was with somebody for a while that was really good, everything. I just didn't think we were, like, compatible, but we kept in touch, like, stayed friends and everything. We traveled together a little bit, too. And then I was in another one after that, and that's the one that, we had touched on that kind of, changed me a lot because another abusive situation, not as bad or the same level, I should say, as the first one, but, it definitely changed me a lot.
And when you say the word abusive, and that's a very harsh word.
Yes.
What sort of abuse did you deal with the first one that was recently arrested?
The first one was, mental, physical, verbal, very heavily physical, though. I would say the physical probably, I can't really say it outweighed the other stuff, but the physical was very intense, which, led to his arrest at the time and also his arrests that keep happening. So, yeah.
What did that was a very short relationship, right?
Yes, it was very quick. The longest thing about that relationship was court.
Yeah. What did that do to you when you had to live through that? Did you think it was normal? Because that wasn't a serious relationship, but your first one wasn't like that.
Yeah, so it traumatized me because, like, I was very naive after my first relationship because it was a good relationship. So I kind of just thought everybody was good. I thought everybody had good intentions, I should say. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, like, because the guy I dated in high school, he's perfectly fine. So I'm like, okay, everybody must be good. They all have good intentions just like he did. And so that kind of traumatized me because I was like, I didn't really know what people were capable of, especially like the mental side of it with him. Like, I didn't realize people could be so mentally, like, not there. It was really scary.
Did you blame yourself for anything that you dealt with him?
Yeah. Yeah, because very early on, whenever we had met, my mom, didn't really agree with it because she's like, I can tell that he's, like, bad news and whatever. And, like, she had found, I guess, like prior records of his arrest. And none of it was for abuse, but just other crazy stuff. And I didn't even know about that. And so she was trying to, like, tell me no, no, no. And I obviously didn't listen to my mom, and that, bit me in the butt. So I definitely did blame myself a little bit for that. I'm like, I should have listened, especially because it wasn't just my mom that was saying things. It was a lot of other people, because to me, he's portraying this completely different person. And, all these other people are like, Kylie, like, that dude's, like, terrible. Do not get involved with him at all. Like, no. And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? He's so sweet and innocent. What are you talking about? So I definitely blamed myself for not listening. But it kind of goes back to, like, I learned things the hard way. And it's like, I don't really mean to do it. I'm not trying to be like, no, I'm not listening to you. It's just like, I choose to see the good, and I'm kind of easily manipulated. Not so much anymore, but at that time I was definitely very easily manipulated. So
how did you meet this guy?
Literally, it was on Instagram. It was so stupid. I mean, he was from my area. Like, we, like, I think he had seen me at the gym or something like that, and he reached out, and I actually really, like, kind of wasn't into it at first because I'm like, whatever, like, he looks scary. He looks scary. I'm like, I don't think that's a, good guy, but then like just the way he talked, I'm like, oh no, he's super innocent. Yeah.
Guess you were wrong.
I was very wrong.
At what point did you realize that your relationship wasn't normal? Like these things that he's saying to me and these things that are doing to me just aren't right.
Well, it was honestly, so usually with abuse, there's like a progression. There was no progression. It was just all of a sudden. So, everything seemed fine. Everything was really normal. And like I knew him for a few weeks. And it was the one day, we're laying there and like sleeping, and he wakes up and it's like 4 a.m. and he's like, oh, I'm going to go like somewhere. I don't know what he's trying to say. And I was just trying to ask him where he was going. So he was like, are you effing like questioning me? He like flung me off the bed, and I like bounced, rolled, hit the like closet that was right there. And I just got up and I was like, what just happened? What just happened? He stands up, he slashes his arm, and then he just runs away. And I was like, what's happening right now? Something's like so wrong with this dude, because like, mind you, he acted completely normal before that. So it wasn't like there was any slow progression. It was just like boom, boom. I was like, what is happening? And he lived with his brother in an apartment. So, I go into his brother's room and I wake him up. I'm like, hey, like he just like cut himself and like left. Like, I don't know what's happening. Cause it was like a deep cut. It was like on his arm somewhere, like over here, but it was a really deep cut. Like blood was everywhere, and he just left. And then obviously on top of what he had just done to me, I'm like, I don't know like what's going on, but that was when I'm like, obviously something's not right here. And obviously I did stay for a little bit because I'm very easily manipulated. So when he's telling me like, oh my gosh, like I just want to kill myself and I'm struggling. Like I have a really big soft spot for people who, are struggling with stuff like that. So I'm like, oh no. And, I tried, but I was like, yeah, this isn't right. And then whenever it kind of ended was kind of when he got arrested, because he would, continue to put his hands on me, and he ended up doing it in public, because I would never do anything. Like, I wasn't going to call cops or anything, but he did it in public, and a bunch of people called the cops, like, more than one. There's a bunch of people that were like, oh, my God, and they called the cops. He got arrested, and then it was, like, I was able to be, like, stripped away from him and, like, have the clarity of, like, okay, I'm not going to let this dude try to, like, blame it on his mental illness or whatever the frick is going on with him, so, yeah.
Did you ever figure out what caused that outburst or him to act that way?
The initial one?
Just in general, like, was he dealing with something that you know about?
No, because he has a very big family. Like, he's Arabic, and so I feel like they always have pretty, tight, big families. Sure. So he had a pretty big family, and all of his family told me they don't know what's wrong with him. His mother used to say Satan is inside of him. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
that wasn't a red flag?
Well, that was after he had started that day. Okay. This was when it was done. So all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, like, okay, I think something's just wrong with him. Because, like, for example, the one time I wrote down in my journal, because it just used to, like, play over in my head. So whenever, like, certain things would, like, play over in my head, like, I write it in my journal. I wrote in my journal the one time, like, he had this friend, and all I knew about this friend was that they lived in Conneaut. So he's like, hey, we're going to go see, his name was Mike. He's like, we're going to go see Mike. And I was like, okay, so I'm expecting a long drive to wherever Conneaut's at. I don't even know where that's at. But I guess it's somewhere that has, like, a lake or so. Yeah. Okay, makes sense, because I don't know. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. So anyways, he's like, we're going to go see Mike. I was like, okay, cool. So, like, I get in the car, we're ready. Mind you, this relationship was so short and fast, and this is how intense things happen. We're driving, and then, like, we pull up to YSU, which is the college I used to go to, and I was like, oh, I thought, like, Mike lived in Conneaut. Freaks out, calls me an effing skank, a slut, all these things, and I was like, what's happening right now? And he was like, you just wanted to be a whore and go to the lake and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm so confused. I just thought that's where he lived. I don't know what's happening. And he's like, get in the effing car. Like, we're leaving, whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, please just calm down. Like, I didn't know. Like, I was literally just asking. That's like, if, I tell one of my friends, hey, we're going to Giant Eagle, and then, like, I go to Walmart, they're gonna be like, oh, I thought we were going to Giant Eagle. Like, it wasn't a, like,
Well,
and
you
then,
care, you effing skank.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So then we're driving back. He's driving all aggressive, and he's like, you know what? I don't even want you in my effing car. He pulls over. We're in the ghetto. opens the door, like unbuckles my seatbelt, and I'm like begging for him not to like throw me out of the car, and he like throws me out of the car, and he yells again like effing skank and drives away. And I'm like, okay, now I'm in the ghetto, walking alone as a girl. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I did wrong, and like that's just kind of like an example of I couldn't really ever rack my brain on like 100% what was wrong with this dude other than like he's just insane. Like he's just something is not right in his head. Like I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just a deep-rooted mental illness. I don't know what mental illness,
Yeah.
but there's something.
He's in jail now.
Oh yeah, he's
So he
always in
obviously is
jail.
struggling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Always.
Why do you think he slashed his arm after he threw you off the bed?
I think it was to make me feel bad. I think it was kind of like, I just hurt you, but I'm going to hurt myself to either like show you I feel bad about hurting you or just so you feel bad for me because I just cut myself kind of deal.
I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
That's like gaslighting and manipulation.
Yes.
Like, we're going to ignore what I just did to you. I'm bleeding. I'm the
Yes.
victim now.
Yeah.
Attention on me.
He pretended to actually get in a car crash once. So he FaceTimed me and he was begging me like I need you, I need you, I need you, like saying that he was gonna hurt himself. And I'm like, dude, like leave me alone. But he's like, I need you, I need you, I need you. And then I hear like the phone goes down because he's driving. The phone goes down black and I hear like screeching and a crash. And then the phone hangs up. And I'm like, he's killed himself because he told me he was going to, and he was like showing me his speedometer. So I'm like, okay, he's gonna kill himself, but like I don't know what's going on. Not to sound heartless, but I like not like, oh, he's gonna kill himself, but I was like, what's happening? Is he gonna kill himself? Whatever. I called his brother after that, and I'm like, I think he just died. I think he just got in a car crash. He's like, what? You know, few minutes, probably like 15 minutes later, he pulls up to his brother's apartment, and his brother's like, he's here, like he's home, he didn't kill himself. I'm like, what? He had like another device of some sort that he played the audio on and literally pretended to get into a car crash. Yeah, so I don't know, like it was insane. That's why me and my mom, we don't even call it a relationship, we call it like a situation, because it was so quick and so intense and so traumatizing. It was wild.
They say everything happens for a reason, Kylie.
Yeah.
What do you think the reason is that you went through that relationship?
I think I looked at the world too innocently. Like I didn't really, I know there's evil stuff in the world, but I never really like experienced it to that level. So I think it was to kind of show me that, and also maybe like preference me for the future, so I know like in a partner like what to look for, what not to put up with, and just to show me that like there is people who will say that they care about you but try to hurt you or will hurt you.
And did that happen again?
Yes.
So I wouldn't say it didn't teach you, but
Yeah.
it didn't stop it from happening again.
Unfortunately not. But it was very different situations, I would say. Like the second time, it wasn't the same as the first time. It wasn't like a quick thing, and it wasn't like a flip switch. It was like very slow, very subtle, like manipulation and, like mental abuse and like verbal abuse and everything that led up to like ultimately it getting physical. And it never got to the level of physical that it got with the other one, but it was enough where it's like, okay, like this is not okay.
So there's mental abuse, emotional abuse, whatever you want to call it, and physical.
Yes.
Which one hurts more?
Oh, that's so hard. I honestly would tell, like, one of my best friends, I would tell her, like, out of, like, everything, like, if this person puts their hands on me, the thing that hurts the most is them saying this or them doing this to me. So I would probably say, like, the mental, verbal, emotional abuse probably hurts more.
Do you believe the things that are said to you?
It's hard. It depends. So with the second situation that I was in, the second abusive situation, it was all the things I had opened up about and, kind of been super sensitive on that were used as weapons against me. And they were things that weren't even my fault. that got like weaponized against me, and it hurt so bad. And like it wasn't that like I believe these things were true, but it's just like it hurt just because like I can't believe somebody would do that to me when I would never do that to them, when I have all the ammunition in the world, but I would never do that, you know?
Does that make you afraid? I mean, you're in a relationship now.
Yes.
You're sitting 10 feet away from us. Does that scare you like it's going to happen again? And I'm not putting him in a, in a category.
Yeah, it's
but
okay.
Are you afraid to connect with someone again?
Yeah. Yeah. I have moments where I'll just, like last night, because I figured we might talk about it today. So last night I broke down and cried because I'm just telling him like I'm so scared, because the last situation messed me up so bad, because the difference was this was somebody who knew what I had been through, really nurtured that, really cared for me with that, like, you know, made all these promises and, you know, like to not hurt me. And like really I truly felt cared about, and I truly felt like there's no way this person would ever hurt me. And the thing that hurt worse was like I predicted everything that was going to happen, and I chose to stay. I was very like I researched the signs of abuse and like the, you know, cycle of abuse. And so I was very like familiar with it. So as these things were happening, I'm like, I'm getting manipulated right now. The next step is this. The next step is this. The next step is this. And it all was perfectly in line, but I never thought, because the last step's physical, I'm like, it's never going to get there. He will never do that to me like this. He's never going to lay a finger on me. I can tell, like, in the things he said, there is no way. And he did. And the first time, it's like, it hurts worse, like, emotionally when they do that than it does physically. Because the first time was the same thing, like, grabbing me and throwing me and, like, you know, slamming me to the ground. And it was, like, the shock that my body felt, where it's, like, somebody who's supposed to be taking care of me and, like, protecting me, and who knows that that happened to me before, just did that to me. Like, it just, the emotional side was so much worse. So going into, like, a new relationship now, yeah, I'm, like, petrified. And I know he would never. Like, I know that for a fact. There's no doubt in my mind that he would never do that. But sometimes in the back of my head, I'm like, I didn't think the last one would. And it did. And it was terrible. But there was also a lot of red flags I ignored with that last one compared to, you know, this one. But yeah, it definitely scares me.
So you said you essentially predicted all future steps with the recent relationship. Yes. Why didn't you, after like the second or third one that came true, why didn't you just say, you know what, this isn't worth risking the next 10 steps?
I couldn't, because I still was holding on to all the good that was there. Because obviously I wouldn't have stayed if there was no good, but there was all this good where I'm like, okay, and all these excuses being made by the person where I'm like, okay, you know, maybe things will get better when this happens, and maybe things will get better when this happens. And I just made excuses, and I fell for the manipulation, and I kind of just let myself be manipulated even though I knew it was happening. So yeah, and then it got to a point I had moved in like with this person, and that didn't last long. And it was actually craziest thing is the first day I moved in was the first day he put his hands on me. And so it was like, wow, because if I would have known that was going to happen, I would have never moved in. But that was the first day he did put his hands on me. And it was almost like, wow, he has me trapped. I'm isolated in a state that I'm not even from. I have nobody here. What am I going to do now? So then, you know, once I'm living there and the physical stuff's happening, I'm like, I kind of just have to find an escape plan. And I did.
Does Mason know all this stuff already?
A little bit. He knows, like, I don't really ever go into detail, like, about this stuff, because, like, I just feel bad, because it's, like, it's talking about another person, and it makes me feel bad, because I'm like, you know, this is my person now. I don't want him to have to think about me with somebody else, even though it's important stuff. It makes me feel, like, guilty to talk about with him. So I've told him things, but not intense details. Like, I definitely walked him through, though, the story of me leaving, because that was, like, one of the biggest moments of, like, my life, and, like, one of the hardest things I did. So he knows all of that, but it's a lot of details that were spared.
Yeah. Every relationship is very different. Everyone has been through a different life when they meet.
Yes.
Right? Your past and his past are completely different.
Yeah.
But you're meeting at one point.
Yeah.
And those pasts and how you've grown from them are now merged together.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, Maria, her past couldn't be more opposite than mine.
Yeah.
And that was very difficult for us when we became closer, is because she's acting a certain way because of her past. And I don't understand why she's acting that way. Because
Right.
my past, I never had to do that.
Right.
So understanding each other and where we came from ultimately was the most important thing that, for our relationship to grow, we had to understand each other's foundations and come to that common ground of understanding.
Right. And thankfully he's very good with that, because I wanted to like open up about it like pretty early on. And what had actually like happened was like, I was like, okay, well, there's no getting around this now. Like, we were at this gym, and the last one was a competitive bodybuilder, and there's pictures of him all over this gym. And I'm like, feel like I should mention this now, because, I'm forced to kind of like stare at his face. Like, and then I, touched on it, and I told him like this wasn't the first time something like this had happened, even though it's in very different degrees, different levels, here. And I told him about it, and he was very good about it and understanding it, even though, he doesn't understand it from going through it. He did his best to understand it for me, like try to put himself in my shoes and all that.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Is try to understand.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to understand.
Right.
But, at least kind of stepping back and listening to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big step. So what do you tell the woman who is watching you right now, Kylie, that is in a abusive relationship and doesn't know what to do?
Oh yeah, that camera. Honestly, it depends on the degree. Like, is this they're living with them? Because there's very different. Are they living with them, or is it just a kind of?
They just know that something's not right and they don't know how to get out of it.
What I did wasn't necessarily, I don't know if this is good advice, but with the last one, I started to record things so that I could look back at it myself and remember, no, he did this. No, he said this. So that when he's telling me he didn't mean these things, and, and he's apologizing and saying he cares and saying that he loves me and saying all these things, like, know that he's capable of this. Know that he did this. Know that this isn't right. Know that you need to get out. So I would say, honestly, like, try to document it so that you can look back and just, it prevents you from getting manipulated more almost, because you're like, they'll say they didn't say things, then you have videos of them saying it, or they'll say they didn't do things, you have videos of them doing it. So it's like almost just document it for peace of mind, make yourself feel sane and make yourself know that your truth is the truth.
What if they find out that you've recorded them saying these things and that makes them even more upset?
Yeah, that's the bad part.
And I ask that because I've recently been, I guess, brought to my attention that someone in my close circle is going through an abusive relationship, and they're documenting the abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And the abuser found out that they've been recorded.
It
and
makes it very bad.
They turn
the
table and say, "Oh, you asshole, how could you do that to me?" What, like, it's such gaslighting.
That's exactly the last video that I took was, so I had to make a plan. So setting the scene, I'm living with this person, but enough things have happened where I'm like, I need to get out. I need to love myself more than I like currently love this person. Like, I need to just love myself more. I need to get out, because I'm hurting myself by staying, and it's not doing any good. So, I'm there. I wrote a letter, basically a goodbye letter. Just like, hey, listen, like, I need to love myself more. I need to get out. I'm not running off with anybody else. I'm not doing any of this. I'm just protecting myself. I'm saving myself. And, like, I hope you get the help that you need. And blah, blah. Like, it was a really sweet, nice letter. So I write this letter, and it's in my journal. Well, he reads the letter before I was actually ready for him to read the letter. And I knew that shit was going to hit the fan. Because because I'm like, oh no. So he reads part of it. He leaves. He's threatening to kill himself. And I'm like, I'm used to that. And it's sad to say I'm used to that. But I was used to that. I'm like, okay, he's going to threaten to kill himself, whatever. So I begged for him to come back. I'm like, please just come back so you could read the rest of this letter. And you can see that it's not a bad letter. Like, it's like such a sweet, heartfelt letter. Like, it's not me like, screw you, I'm leaving, you suck. Like, it's a really sweet letter. So he comes back, and that's when I'm like, I'm going to record, because I already know he's going to come in hot and heavy freaking out. He comes in hot and heavy freaking out, screaming at the top of his lungs, you know, just degrading me, saying all these mean things, going off. And that is a video that he knows is there. So his excuse was, you recorded a broken man. That's me broken. Like, you know, I hope you're happy and I hope you're proud of yourself. Like, that's what that is. And, like, making me seem like a terrible person for having that video of him. So, you know, the people who have stuff, you have to, I guess, just try to hide it. But I don't really hide anything, and I knew I was leaving. So it was what it was that he saw it. But you got to be very cautious. And it's scary because you don't want to, like, walk on eggshells around the person that's supposed to be your person. You don't want to have to walk on eggshells, but in situations like that, you kind of have to. And, like, that's why when I was in that situation, I made the plan so I couldn't back out of it, because I didn't trust myself. I was like, I'm going to keep getting manipulated, because, like, it happens every time. It happens every time. You know, he gives me the puppy dog eyes and is apologizing and saying he loves me, and he didn't mean these things, and, like, whatever. So I'm like, I'm going to literally get a place to go, like, sign the lease so that I can't back out of it. And that's exactly what I did. Found the place, signed a lease so that way, like, there was a date and I had to go. I didn't even have anybody to help me. I didn't know what I was going to do. But I had a job down there. I was working down there. And the girls that I was working with actually, like, offered to help me. And I was like, wow. So we had to wait until he wasn't home. We got my stuff and I left and I never looked back. And it's like, that was really hard to do because I felt like such a piece of crap for having to make things for those last few days. I had to make everything seem like it was okay and like I wasn't leaving. And it made me feel like a piece of crap, but it's like I had to do what I had to do to, like, protect myself. But yeah, it was really hard, but it was, like, one of, like, the bravest things that I ever did. And, like, I still can't believe I did it. Like, I look back and I feel proud because initially I was so, like, hard on myself when I did do it. Like, because, you know, I get to my new place and I'm moving in there, and obviously I'm getting phone calls from no caller IDs and him saying, like, how could you do this to me? Like, you're terrible, comparing me to these people in his past, saying all these, like, really hurtful things, like, oh, you just showed me who you really are. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I just want to be proud that I was able to be so strong and do this. But I knew, like, hopefully, like, one day he'll understand. So yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here listening, Kylie, about this person, and I know who this person is.
Yes.
I'm not going to pretend like I don't know who you're talking about.
Right.
And I know 100% he's going to watch this. Okay?
Oh boy.
You know, he knew you were coming on the show, and that's that. And I'm here as a completely unbiased person. I'm
Right.
just listening to your story.
And
I'm
I
not
don't
taking
want,
sides.
yeah, I don't want there to be like, oh, this is what he said and this was she said or anything. Like, I'm telling my truth, what happened, what I did, my point of view on the situation. You know, he can tell his whatever. I'm not trying to badmouth anybody. It's not going to do any good. I'm not trying to start any wars with anybody. That's why I'm not going to go into details about, like, things that happened. Sure. Just the important stuff, you know what I mean? This
is your story, and that's why you're here.
Yes.
I have acted as sort of a mediator between you two and exchanged a few things back and forth.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's about it. And I do want to ask you something once we cut cameras.
Okay.
But this is not going to be recorded. But once we cut, I do want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Well, Kylie, you're not going to drink. Right?
No.
This would be a great time for it too. After that deep talk.
Yeah.
Because you're on prep and you say you don't drink anyways.
Yeah.
Why?
There's somebody very close in my life who is an alcoholic, and I see the way it affects them, and not that I'd ever be an alcoholic. I know that wouldn't happen, but it just, like, turned me off to alcohol, if that makes sense. Like, it's just seeing the way it could affect somebody I love so deeply, it just turned me off to all of it. And, like, I've drank here and there. Like, I've done shots of vodka just to see, like, what it feels like. And I'll probably have to do that before my show, whatever. But, like, I don't take enjoyment in drinking. I don't do it. Just, I see how it affects that person, and it makes me sad. So, just, like, even the smell, like, it turns me off to it.
Probably takes you back to a painful time
Yeah.
or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. And that's fine. I don't expect any guest to drink.
Yeah.
It's in the background. If you want to have some, you do. If you don't, you don't. And, you know, I never pressure any guest to
Yeah.
drink. Anything else that has impacted your life that you haven't talked about that you want to get out? That can help somebody. That's why
Yeah.
you're here. It's to
Yeah.
help somebody.
Honestly, I think, and this was something I was just like talking about recently, like with him, is like I had to like I grew up like very fast. Like I moved out when I was like 20. Like, not that that's like, I mean, I feel like I wanted to move out when I was 18, but it's kind of hard. But I moved out like when I was 20, and so like everything's kind of like been all on my own for a while, and I think that's really impacted me because I just see things differently than like my peers who are living off of their parents and driving cars their parents paid for, and everything's paid for by their parents. So I don't know, that just impacted me a lot. I just see things a lot differently because I don't know, I take care of myself, and I've taken care of myself for like 2 years now. So just, yeah, it's not a bad thing or anything, but I think it just made me mature a little bit quicker than my peers. And that also is another thing. It's like drinking, you know, I also just see no interest in going out and doing all of that and partying. I like to go to Halloween parties because I like to dress up, and I like to have funny costumes. Like, I was McLovin this year from Superbad. It was so fun.
I'm surprised you even know what that movie is.
I
Probably
love
came
that
out
movie.
when you were born.
I love that movie. But like,
Such a good movie.
I like to do stuff like that. It's fun. I love like bonfires with my friends, but like, I don't know, it just made me like mature quicker, where I'm like, I don't want to like go out and destroy my body and feel like crap the next morning and do all this. I want to pay my bills, grocery shop, like
An upstanding citizen.
Yes, yeah, I just want to be an upstanding citizen.
Small goals. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal. And I did tell you when we spoke on the phone that you sound very mature for your age.
Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like, and I think a lot of that's because you've been through a lot already.
Yeah.
Starting at 15,
Yeah.
you know, the eating disorder, the bad relationships.
Yeah.
Like, you've had to grow up really fast.
Yeah, and I am grateful because I think all those relationships served a purpose. The first one, just, you know, we're kids, we're just learning, I don't know. The second one, obviously, like, super intense, traumatic, kind of showed me, like, there's evil out there. The one after that showed me that there's good out there. It reminded me of that, and I think I needed that after that. And it, I don't know, like, it just completely refreshed my brain. After going from something so terrible to something, like, so good, I'm like, wow, like, there's good out here. Like, this is how I should be treated. This is how somebody should speak to me. Like, this is the way everything should go. Like, he taught me so much, and I think that relationship definitely did serve a purpose, even though it's like, I wish we didn't necessarily date because I don't think we were, like, compatible couple-wise. Like, we never fought, ever, once in our lives. But, like, I just think our interests were different is what I mean by that. It taught me so much. And then after that one kind of taught me, like, okay, even though the evil isn't blatant right in front of your face, like, you need to look at the red flags, and you need to kind of, like, listen when you know the next step, like we were talking about. When you know that next step's coming, you need to listen, and you need to just get out of there. And then it also taught me how strong I could be. I didn't think I was going to be able to leave that because I was heavily involved in that, like, relationship. I was like, this, you know, this is where I want to be. Even when all the stuff was going on, I would look at the good, and I'm like, no, like, this is where I want to be. But it taught me that I can be really strong, and I can walk away from something that's hurting me, even if it doesn't feel right in the moment, you know? And then it led me perfectly to where I need to be now. And this, once again, is teaching me that there's good in the world, and that I can be treated with kindness and treated nicely. Like, one of the moments that, like, absolutely spoke volumes to me was, like, there was something, like, so small, and it, like, bothered me, and I was so scared to bring it up to him because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, when this happened in my last relationship, like, he'd freak out on me. Like, I don't want to bring this up. So I brought something up that bothered me to him. he was literally so sweet, gentle, kind, and was like, if there's something going on up here, I want to know it too. Like, never feel scared to come to me. Always tell me these things. And I was like, wow. And it just reminded me again, I'm like, okay, there is good, and like this is possible, and like happiness is real, you know, not just real when you're being manipulated. Like, it's not just real after somebody hurts you. It could be real without the hurt, pretty much.
You're relearning how to be in a relationship.
Yeah, like a good, like a healthy one. Yeah.
Not a bad problem. So no regrets.
No, I would do it all again if it leads me to where I need to be right now. Because also, even with like work and everything, if I had never been in that last relationship, I wouldn't have left my job, and I would probably still be there making like barely, like, a little bit above minimum wage, not really doing good for myself. But leaving that relationship, and then, you know, it happening the way it happened to where I had to leave and start over. Like, I had to completely start over from scratch. I'd actually, I don't think anybody knows this except for my few friends. I had to make a GoFundMe when I moved. And it was because I, you know, kind of like maxed out my credit card to be able to pay for the moving expenses of starting over. So I actually had an anonymous GoFundMe that my friends were sharing, and I actually shared it to my story, pretending like it wasn't me, like somebody needs help. So I raised money on there. But anyways, like, the fresh start was necessary because then it led me to where I'm at now. The job I'm at now, I love it. It could be a little like sketchy sometimes just because, you know, every job has its little things, but I love it. It gives me so much flexibility. Like, I'm working remote like probably the rest of the year, but for sure for the rest of the month, I know. And like, if I'm not doing that, I'm working in an office. Like, we're all just hanging out in an office, like making phone calls, doing these things, having fun. It pays really, really well. It's so amazing. And it's like, if I didn't go through all of that, I wouldn't be in the financial spot I'm in. I wouldn't be in the relationship that I'm in. Even now, like, I have a roommate, and like we get along. The only difference is I'm a neat and clean freak and she's not. So that
would be tough.
That's a little tough. But other than that, like, I have a roommate and we have this cute little place. It's so nice. We have our little kitty cats. Like, it's like, I love my little life now. And I'm like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't go through all that. So I would 100% go through it all again. Like, all of it. Yeah.
Well, Kylie, we have one more thing to do. Do you know what that is?
Is it the arm wrestling?
It is.
He's in.
You want me to tag in?
No, you stay right there. Mason is a record-holding powerlifter, and he's just gonna stay where he belongs in that chair.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, you brought the guns out.
Oh wow.
So what's the tattoo mean?
Oh, okay. So I'll give a tattoo tour. This one, this is deep. This is the only one that has like super deep meaning. So on the back of my arm, it means strength, but it's actually covering up. I would call it a scar from the past, that first abusive relationship. That's what it's covering up. And pretty much, I don't know, that's why I chose to cover it up with that. But the guy that I was with, the good one, after that, he actually painted me a portrait that is loosely based off like me and like my tattoo. So it's supposed to be like me as this tattoo. And it was his way, because like it was whenever I was like, hey, we probably like, you know, we can be friends, but we probably shouldn't like talk every day, because we were like best friends, and like we probably shouldn't do this. If we want to like get in relationships, like this just isn't right. Like we know that it's like completely like there's nothing going on, but it's like, you know, that's not a good look to be friends with an ex like that. So he was like, okay, well, this is my parting gift to you. He's like, because this is me letting you know that like without me to lean on and whatever, like you're so strong. And so that's, you know, like I love this tattoo. I love that painting because it just means like strength of, you know, everything I've been through, and that I'm strong on my own without, you know, somebody to lean on. This one is because it's a cool muscle lady. She's jacked.
That's a great reason.
I was like, listen. I love statues. I was like, so let's take one of those and let's make her jacked.
That is so funny. Like, she has abs.
Yes, she does.
That's awesome.
And then this was just a filler piece. So this artist specializes in like this flower. It's like a peony. He does not specializes, but
Yeah.
everybody loves his peonies.
Very nice.
So I got that because I'm like, okay, just a little filler piece to make it all flow. This was my first tattoo, Pinterest tattoo, because I saw it on Pinterest. I'm like, I'm big on pinky promises. This is super cute.
Yeah.
Pinterest tattoo. And then I have a sun on my leg, and that one's because like people always say I remind them of the sun and stuff like that, and I love the sun, and just cute, and I got it done. Something cute like about that, I thought this was awesome. My one friend, she'll call me like Smiley Kylie, and I ended up like over the Christmas time, I was looking at like family like picture books, and there's pictures of me as a baby, and my mom wrote Smiley Kylie, and I was like, wait,
No
what?
way.
I'm like, wait, what? And then the craziest part is the office I'm working at now, one of the guys there started calling me that, and then they all picked up on it, so now they'll call me Smiley Kylie. I'm like, wait, this is amazing. I love this because I like to be known like that, especially because I feel like when people go through evil, it can kind of turn them evil, and I love that nothing ever did that to me. But yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Well, those are good
Yes.
tattoo stories.
Yes.
Not like it was a drunken mistake.
No.
It's a guy's name that I'm not with anymore.
No.
Those are the worst.
No.
All right, girl, line up.
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
gonna ask you a question as we do this.
What?
Yeah.
Is it going
You
to
got
make me laugh? Because then I'll get really weak.
Ooh, you shouldn't have given away your secret. No, I don't think it's gonna make you laugh.
Okay.
Start when you're ready.
Okay.
All right, you got some strength here. So Kylie, when we started, you said you got into bodybuilding because it was going to make
Oh,
you
no.
healthier, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you did it to protect you from evil also?
Ooh. Okay, wait. I'm going to let you win that. Let me focus up. For my arm breaks. He won, everybody.
It's not the point, but yeah. Chalk another one. Like looking back now, do you think it was a way to make you stronger to protect you?
So I'm not gonna lie, there was definitely moments where in my training, after, getting roughhoused by a man, I was like, I'm training and I'm gonna be stronger. So maybe if this happens again, I can have the willpower to fight back and be a little strong. Still never did it because I can't hurt anybody. I can't do it. Like it's not in me to like lay my hands on somebody. But that did definitely cross my mind in that aspect. I'm like, maybe it'll make me a little physically stronger so I can like fight somebody off. And that sounds silly because I'm a small person, but that crossed my mind. So I guess kind of, yeah.
And this show's not about bodybuilding. All right. I do have a lot of bodybuilders on the show, barbells and bourbon, right? But people get into stuff like bodybuilding for very different reasons. Yours was to be healthier. Others are to protect them from evil. That was kind of why I got into weightlifting, is because I was bullied as a kid. I was 155 pounds, 6'2" when I graduated high school.
Oh my gosh.
I was your typical, like, you would bully me. Like, I was a target, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how do I not be a target anymore? You get bigger, you get stronger, right? And no one's going to want to mess with me anymore.
Yeah.
That was my reason why.
Yeah.
And then people have other reasons, whether they went through a terrible childhood or XYZ, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, that's why I asked that, because sometimes there's underlying issues when you get into something so extreme.
Yeah.
You don't realize at the time, perhaps.
I definitely heard that when you compete, like, it's really, I can't say good mentally, but like it makes you a little mentally tougher. And that also is something that kind of went in the back of my head, because like I always like prop myself. I'm like physically strong, then like I can be so mentally weak. I can be so mentally weak. Like I can let people walk all over me and do all this. I'm like, like hopefully it does help me a little bit, like get a little bit mentally stronger. And I think it did. I think it really did. Like for like the last, situation I was in, I'm like, at least I knew did I let it happen? Yes, but at least I knew everything that was happening, and I was very self-aware. It's like I started speaking to a therapist after that situation because it messed me up. And my therapist always says, she's like, you're so self-aware. Like, I don't know. Like, you're saying everything that I was going to, you're so self-aware. I'm like, yeah. So definitely trains the brain a little bit too.
For sure. Well, Kylie, it's been a pleasure to have you. Do you have any questions for me before we close out?
No.
Wah, wah, wah.
Sorry.
That's fine. There's no homework. She wasn't supposed to come with questions. Mason over there, any questions for me?
I'm not good.
He's just gonna stay in his lane. Well, guys, like the video, subscribe. It helps me, helps Kylie, helps grow the channel. I'm doing this all on my own, completely free. I'm not paying anyone to do anything. So help a brother out. Like one of these episodes, watch it, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode of Barbells and Bourbon. Peace.
Yay.
Yay.